All right, what's going on, folks? Hey, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Like always, like, subscribe, man. If you ain't, if it's your first time watching me, like, subscribe, and most importantly, comment down below. I'm doing this for y'all, so I'm trying to hear what you got to say about it. At the end of the day, whether you agree or disagree, that's it's up to you. But bottom line is that I'm obligated to put this information up here so people can start thinking for themselves. So this video is called "How We Stop Bad Cops." Right? How do we stop bad cops? How we already know there's some shitty police out there, and there's also good police out there. We can't take away the fact that there are people who are out there who are being police officers because not only do they care about their fellow human being, but they just want to clean up the shit they see, right? So I understand that. But then we're also going to talk about other reasons why people become cops. And then also, but before we go any further, let's just talk about the origin of policing, right? Like, where did it even start? Where did it come from? And and why do we know it to what it is now, right? So uh, basically, in the beginning of things, in regards to policing, right? There's been all sorts of forms of policing and regulating communities all through time to maintain peace, right, and order. Now, my thing is the policing that we know today is more influenced on it's a westernized ideological ideological way. It's a westernized ideological way of policing, right? Now, the reason why, I'm about to break it down to you right here. So, the beginnings of policing started in Europe, and in the beginning of their policing over there, it was kind of like a neighborhood watch type of system where there's people who lived in the neighborhood, right? They would get together, and like I said, they would have certain rules and regulations, and they would just kind of, uh, you know, run patrols and things of that nature. If anything was irregular, they would all point it out because they were organized. So that was kind of the genesis of the system, and that was called the watch. And so back then, they actually called it the watch, which I'm pretty sure that's why the neighborhood watch, even that phrase, I'm pretty sure that's where it originates from. But anyway, so it was called the watch. And then when it got a little more organized, they called it the big stick. This is all in Europe. They called it the big stick. And I'm pretty sure you've seen movies, you know what I'm saying, European movies, or even just watching TV. The police over there, they don't have guns. They got big old clubs, big old sticks, right? And so I'm pretty sure that's where that comes from. Now, that concept, obviously, more than likely, is the same concept that was continued on here when the Europeans who came here and created the United States, right? So that's why I'm saying that the majority of the world has adopted that westernized ideological way of policing because of when it was in Britain, not when it was in Britain, the people that decided to start the United States were living under that same concept. So it was only logical for them to take that and bring it to where the next place they were conquering, the next place they were taking over, just stealing shit. And that's a whole nother video. But anyway, so it continued on in the United States, but obviously started in at a small scale, right? It wasn't until the 1830s to when the idea of a centralized municipal police department first emerged, right? So in 1838, the city of Boston, they were the first one to establish an American police force. And then I think it was New York and then Chicago after that. But this is all happening around, like I said, 1838 to be specific was the first police department in Boston. And then after that, it was New York, all the big cities, so on and so forth. But see, the reason why I definitely have to stress that there were two different concepts of policing here, right? Because even in Boston, uh, for the most part, any kind of policing that any civilization does, they're doing it because they're trying to prevent some kind of criminal criminal energy or act that's going on that they deem criminal. So it's not even necessarily that it's something that is morally wrong or fucked up. It's that it's what they deem morally wrong and fucked up is what is being policed. You see what I'm saying? And so back in them days, obviously, us as black people were deemed morally wrong and fucked up, and still are to this day in regards to society. But uh, so back then in the South, they had slave patrol. You can look this shit up. They had slave patrol where they would round up runaway slaves, or slaves that are out too late past their curfew type shit, or if slaves infringe any kind of laws on the plantation. These are the guys that would deal with them, and they had slave patrols. And so now these people, you see, following the Civil War, there were vigilante style type organizations that evolved, and that's what became modern day Southern policing. Now the thing is that their departments they primarily focused on controlling the free slaves who are now laborers in the agricultural system, because after the Civil War, black people were freed, right? So then these organizations, they got together and they were trying to control the free slaves who were working in the agricultural system now, and they were enforcing the Jim Crow segregation laws. Now, obviously, we know what the Jim Crow segregation laws, right? They were denied. They were designed to deny slaves equal rights and access to political system. Uh, so my point is that the idea of policing comes also with the idea of what are you policing, and then what are you policing is correlated with what you deem criminal. You see what I'm saying? So that's why there was such a huge focus of organizing the police back then, quote unquote, the police back then, is because back then not only in during slavery we were deemed criminal, which they created the slave patrol, but then even after they organized a lot more, to where, like I said, they would infringe on the laws of free slaves who were working in the agricultural system by imposing the Jim Crow segregation laws on them as much as they could. You see what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of times you hear people saying police started where they just round up slaves all day. It's like yes and no. Obviously, they still had bad white people who they had to regulate and make sure they weren't breaking any laws. But like I said, the reason why they thought, and the reason why they were so motivated to organize it was for the simple fact that because when the slave era was going on, it was a way for them to, without law, there was a way for them to regulate and police the slave trade economy, right? And so then, post-slavery, it was a way for them to regulate us as free people through the Jim Crow segregation laws. So now that's kind of like the beginnings of it. And so, like I said, and then they evolved to what we know of today. And obviously, there's black people in the police force. There's a large percentage of black people in the police force, and some of them doing it for the right reasons, and some of them are doing it for some confused and blurred reasons. But one thing's for sure is that now we have adopted it as a system of they're there to prevent crime, right? But see, that's another thing too, is that police there's a small percentage of crimes that police officers actually prevent, but there is a large percentage that they just document. That's what I'm saying. So they're more or less there to document and make sure what the hell's going on and when it happened and how it happened, as opposed to them figuring out a crime before it happens. Because good luck trying to do that. And that's also kind of breaking laws, right? Unless you have probable cause, and that probable cause is and it's justified, right? And so my point is that when we talk about policing, we got to talk about what is deemed criminal too, right? And then we got to talk about the origins of the policing and who started the policing. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's like we can't just paint one broad stroke about policing. And then there's nothing about it, is that there's a lot of good things about policing. There's a lot of great things about policing. There's a lot of people's lives that have been saved. There's a lot of crimes that have been prevented. There's there's people who've, like I said, there's a lot of good things that have happened out of it. So I'm not going to sit here and try to act like the concept of policing is not a good idea. No, It's just that, like I said, it's just when it gets faulty and when it starts smelling stank to me, is when who's doing the policing and why they're doing it. That is when it's a problem. So that's what led me to this video right here, is that we're talking about the bad cops. And unfortunately, you know, one bad cop, the action of one bad cop will overshadow the work of 100. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why it's a major issue, and it's something that is imperative that we have to get to the bottom of as soon as possible, because the people are losing faith in y'all. I'm talking to the police. The people are losing faith. And the reason why I'm losing faith in y'all is because y'all are not acting like y'all are for the people. And in fact, the people are the ones that pay y'all's bills. It's like y'all are literally our public servants. But when y'all walk up on us and approach people, y'all don't act as such. Not at all. Not at all. Some do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying just because you're a public servant, um, you know, you gotta like, you gotta grovel or something. I'm not saying. I'm just saying to respect someone mutually is something that's very evident when it's happening, right? As opposed to what we see happen majority of the times when the police walk up to you, they walk up to you like they're the judge right then and there. You got to answer any question they got. You better say yes sir, no sir. You know what I'm saying? So you better throw in your Sunday's best with them, just because they put themselves on this higher social kind of pedestal, right? So, and like I said, I'm not saying all of them are like that, but that's the general consensus when you walk up to a cop and their demeanor is they walk up to you with their chest out, and like I said, you got to listen and do exactly and everything that they say, when that's actually not true. If anything, they got to do what you say. That's really what it is. They really got. If you like, you don't have to tell them your name, right? You don't have to tell them your name. The only time you have to tell them your name is if you are being detained, and if you are being detained, they have to tell you why you're being detained, right? So that's when you can go into the whole thing about who you are and what your address is and whatever it is. But can't no cop just walk up to you and just be like, "What's your name?" They can't do that. But you, as you being part of the public, as you being, you know, just a normal human being who's paying taxes, that pays their bills, you can walk up to them and say, "I need your name, and I need your employee number, whatever it is, your business card." That's what it is. You ask them for their business card, which has their name, which has the address of the police department, which has the name of their chief, all of that, their superiors. But like I said, you can walk up to any of them and say that, and by law they have to give that to you. But they don't tell you that. Why? Because they don't want to feel like you can tell them what to do, which is, like I said, which is fucked up, because it's not even about us telling them what to do. It's the fact that y'all are out here for us. So we should be able to walk up to you and talk to you the same way y'all feel like y'all can walk up to us. You see what I'm saying? A lot of shit they say, a lot of shit the police say, they want us to treat them a certain way when they don't do it with us. You know what I mean? They want you to be cooperative, right? But then when you ask them something, do they cooperate? When you ask them about their badge number, do they cooperate? You see what I'm saying? So it's like they don't give the mutual respect, which is it puzzles me when they wonder why people don't like him, why people don't respect him. It's because half of the time y'all don't respect the people, and the people don't have to respect you just because you're a police officer. You know what I'm saying? It's like you should respect anybody, but nobody's gonna kiss your ass just because you got a gun and a badge. Like that shit. That's what I'm saying. It's like people do it just because they're scared. But like I said, it's like they know that and they take advantage of it. You know. So the next point I want to talk about is, why do cops even become cops in the first place, right? So one of the reasons is, of course, they want to do good, like anybody else. They want to put in the society, and they want to give back. You know, I want to say that's one of the main. I want to say that's one of the main reasons. I want to say that's one of the reasons. That's what I want to say. That's one of the reasons, is that people want to do good. They want to help, right? They want to be part of the community. They want to help their community progress. They want to make sure they keep the community safe, right? Some people, they just have that type of what's that demeanor, right? They want to take care. I get it. But now let's talk about the main reason why people become police. or the main reason why anybody gets any kind of government job, let alone a job period, because you got to pay bills. That's exactly why, because you got to pay fucking bills, and especially if it's a government job, you get benefits, right? So let's not get it twisted. The majority of people, you join anything where you on a payroll and you got to put in hours is because you got to pay bills. It's like the whole thing about doing it for love and for because it's for good. Like I said, that's a nice big old percentage, but if it's all about that, you would have been out there doing something already. Hey, they got volunteer police officers. You don't have to get paid. You can go out there and be Superman. Superman ain't get a check. So, that's for me. It's like I understand people. It's like people going to the army. It's like y'all trying to tell me everybody that's going to the army, they're going there because they want to stop the evil. Nah, they know it's a check. They know it's a check. Of course, there's a huge percentage of people who go there for the right reasons. I'm not denying that. But my point is what obligates majority of people nowadays is the money, and the reason why is because that's how society has us, right? That's how society has us, right? Because when you come back from the army, you know what I'm saying, you get a check, you get a fat ass check. You can come, and then when you come back too, you can get any kind of job for the most part in whatever field you're in. Especially if you tell whoever if you tell them that you're military, boom, they bumping you up the list. So it's like not only the red carpet treatment you get when you come back, but like I said, the money. And then people go for what? Free school, right? Free school means what? We ain't got to pay for school. Money. It's always, a lot of it is money. A lot of it is money. And like you can watch this and go, fuck you, I did it for my country. All right, that's cool, bro. But if you want to do it for your country, you didn't have to take the check. You can take that check. You could have gave it to somebody who really needed it then. So at the end of the day, I mean, let's understand that a lot of times, if you ain't got shit going on in your life, right? You barely graduated high school, or you graduated high school and then you ain't got shit else to do. You have no money, no plans, right? Got in trouble, right? Or if not, you wanted to find yourself. That's a lot of people. That's why they go. They don't go going, I want to be a superhero. Not everybody. Not everybody. So I'd like to assume the same reason for policing is that not everybody puts on their uniform every day saying, I'm here to save the world. Every single day, like I said, is because a lot of times that is very important, yes, indeed. But then also you got to pay your bills. You got to pay your bills because you can still go do neighborhood watch. You can still go get you a gun permit and still do the same shit police do. You still can. I mean, for the most part. So it's like, let's not act like you had to join the force to save the world. You could have been trying to save the world before you even joined the force if you were about saving the world. So it's really, and then we got those people who they got beat up all their life, and then they finally get to hold a gun and also hold some authority. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of them. We got a lot of them. I've seen them. I know some I grew up with, and I see them now, and I'm going, damn, this motherfucker is, yoked up, done 2 million push-ups ever since I seen him. Ever since I seen him, he's done 2 million push-ups, and he's got a strap, you know. So there's also people who, like I said, like it gives them, they love the sense of authority. That's another percentage of people, right? And then there's also a percentage of people who do it because it's a good way to clean up what they deem criminal, right? Some people, they don't like drug dealers. So some people say, man, I joined the force because my sister died because a drug dealer gave her a bad batch or something. So now, ever since they joined the force, you know, drug dealers, that's what they love to take down, right? And then some people, they'll go, I don't like fucking black people. Them motherfuckers are scum of the earth. And so that's why I became a cop, to clean up the scum. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we have to understand that mentality is alive and well in policing, in government, in our school system, all of that. Because we have to understand what this, where we come from historically. We have to understand that. We have to accept that. But see, that's what I'm saying. I know that makes non-white people uncomfortable, but that's the truth, though. If I'm willing to talk about it and it happened to us, You know, why are y'all not willing to accept that, and y'all the ones that did it? I know I mean, it's a hard pill to swallow. You know, when somebody's talking about, you know, the ones that came before y'all that look like y'all who do some fucked up shit. I get it, but to get so, you know, to get so bent out of shape where not only do you not empathize, but then there's no fixing or erecting the problem is what I don't understand. You know what I mean? No, no, I do understand. And what it is it's because y'all want to keep the same shit going. That's really what it is. I'm not even gonna front. Like y'all want to keep the same shit going. That's really what it is. You see, for me, I wouldn't be saying all this if the incarceration rate of my people wasn't so high. I wouldn't be saying all this. I wouldn't be saying all this if the graduation rate of my people is so low. I wouldn't be saying this. I wouldn't be saying this if 3 out of 5 uh, black men are either incarcerated or have a felony by the age of 21. I wouldn't be saying this shit. I wouldn't be saying this. You know, I wouldn't. But see, that's the thing. We have to understand that uh, the score ain't even at all. The score ain't even at all. So another point I want to talk about is, you know, when when the police when they take off their uniform, when they take off their uniform, are they one of us or are they police again? And that's one thing I've always wanted to know, and I'm always curious about that. Is that do they still look at people as suspects or victims even when they're out the uniform? Because the reason why I'm saying that is because there's a certain type of way you have to think when you're a police officer and when you're on the clock, right? But then when you clock off that, and then you go back out in public, you go to like the same Walmart you were patrolling, now you back getting food for your family, and y'all about to have a cookout, and you're in your normal street clothes, are you still looking at every person, or you know, and thinking that they're up to something and all that bullshit? You know what I mean? So it's like I don't understand why that's never been brought up in regards to the psyche. You know what I'm saying? And the mentality of a police officer during and post, you know, their career in regards to how they perceive people, different races of people, social classes. Um, how do they deem these people off the clock and after they retire? You see what I'm saying? Because, like I said, when you're working that type of when you are a cop, what you are basing a lot of your you know your kind of like your probable causes and your work. What you're basing it on is how well you know people, what you think of those people, and if you know it's like if you deem them evil or not, or problematic or not, or you know what I mean, or thugs or not. You know what I'm saying? So my point is that if you grew up and you never really hung around black people, right? You never been in black neighborhoods. The only black neighborhoods you've seen, or the only black people you've seen are negative representations of black people. And then you grow up to be a cop. Now, what would your perception be when you see black people on your everyday patrol? That's my point. Is that if you grow up a certain way and you weren't exposed to a lot of things, then should you be a cop? Because when you're a cop, you're gonna be exposed to a lot of things. So if you grew up in some little ass town, some podunk town where every black person you saw was deemed a nigger, then when you grow up and become a cop, how are we supposed to know that you don't think like that no more? We don't. We don't. The only person, you know what I'm saying, that could see that is your chief, right? Or whoever it was that hired you. But now if he looked like you and he think like you, would he fire you or not hire you? Nah, you probably keep you. Or if you just didn't tell him that you thought that you didn't like black people, or you didn't give two shits of them, or you didn't care for them, whatever the fuck, you're on the force. You clocking in. Get your strap, get your shield, do your thing. So that's my point. You know, like I don't even think do they have any kind of test like that? I'm not even talking about just like they ask them a question. I'm talking about like throw a lie detector, throw them on a lie detector, all of that, all of that. Do they, you know what I'm saying? Like when somebody's about to be a police officer, do they go talk to, you know how you got references when you get a job, like straight up references? Do they have social references? Is there like a social competency test that is conducted on every officer in regards to how socially uh, 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 um, how socially aware they are? Is there anything like that? I doubt it. I doubt it. And then also, like I said, and who will be overseeing this test? Who will be overseeing this test? Some old ass white dude who grew up back in them racist ass days. You see my point here? So that's why we have to understand that it's so much more to it. It's so much more to it. Now, another thing too I want to talk about is the fact that how much weaponry, you know what I'm saying, like these police have nowadays. These police, they got arsenals. Like I understand that other people got guns out here and people can have guns, but look, if you're gonna have all those guns, I get it. I'm just saying though that a lot of us out here, we're walking around here with a pocket knife, if anything. Most people are not running around here with goddamn guns. 70, I think it was 78% of people don't even have guns in the United States. 78% of people don't even have guns. It's just that it's that other freaking 12 that's got over 50% of all the guns in the world. That Vegas shooter had 47 guns. You got two arms. How, like you got two arms. How you going? How do you shoot 47 guns, bro? You can run up and down, and you still can't shoot all them guns. You gotta pick one up, drop it. Like what the fuck? The fuck are you doing? 47 different guns. So, like I said, is that the whole thing with the whole arsenals? When you're walking up to people, for the most part, they got low, they got pocket knives, and yeah, some people got pistols, and yes, criminals got pistols. But like I said, is that the arsenals tell us what you guys are ready for, and it's not a good way to approach citizens, right? And then on top of that, it's like I get that you can't expect all of us to not have weapons. I understand that. I get that. But that's why too, you know, even in regards to how much shit y'all got the gun, y'all got the taser, what else? Y'all got that whooping thing. Um, y'all got a bunch of shit, man. Y'all got a bunch of shit. And then the shotguns and the ARs in the car. And then a lot of that shit ends up on the street. A lot of it ends up on the street. Now, another point that I wanted to touch on, which I know very well that a lot of people are going to agree, they will agree with me when I say this, is that a lot of police, when they talk to us, they talk to us like they don't like the fact that they work for the public. You see what I'm saying? Like to them, like if you ever walk into a conversation, say to them, like, y'all work for me, right? Like y'all work for us as the people. They'll tell you they don't. They'll tell you straight up like, no, we don't. They'll be like, we don't work for y'all. We don't work for y'all. It's like, because to them, I don't think most police, they don't look at it like they work for us. I think to them, they go, we're working for the United States or we're working for the government or some shit like that. But they don't look at it like we're out here to make sure you guys are good. We're here to serve you guys. I don't think they do. I don't think so. Obviously, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just my opinion. I don't think they do, because they take that as an insult. If it's ever, if that's ever conveyed in regards to who's working for who here and why are you even out here, who pays your bills, all that shit. They get mad as fuck if anything is conveyed to the fact that they work for us, and they shouldn't even care. My point is that they shouldn't care. But that just tells us is that in regards to authority, where they feel like they are, and in regards to kind of like social hierarchy, that's their conveyance in regards to how they really feel about it. Going, we don't work for y'all motherfuckers. We tell y'all what to do. We're the police. But really, like I said, it's the other way around. We tell them what to do because they work for us. That's really what it is. But how society has it now, it's not that at all. It's not that at all. And that's why there's not a cordial relationship between society and police, specifically with, you know, with dark people, with black, any kind of dark skinned person, there is no mutual respect. Is because anytime a police officer walks up to, I don't say anytime, I'm gonna say a lot of times. That's what I'll say, because there's nothing that's ever every, you know what I'm saying, like 100%, right? So anytime, sometimes, a lot of times, when police walk up to just a person, anybody will, whether they think they're doing something wrong with anything, they still don't give them any respect in regards to them being part of society, and that actually y'all work for the public. So when y'all do talk to them, not that you got to kiss their ass, but you don't talk to them like they're some piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't, you can't come in, you come in and start commanding people like you run shit when at the end of the day you don't. Y'all are just here to keep order. Y'all are not here to tell people order. Y'all are here to just to keep the order that already exists, not to tell people what to do. You know? So another thing too that I've noticed, you know, on YouTube, I've seen a lot of these shows, not just shows, but clips on YouTube where they're, you know, it's like where people are challenging the police. Like, you know, anybody being a smart ass with you, I don't care who you are, where you are, what profession you're in, that's gonna piss you off. I get it. If somebody just comes, you know, somebody talking crazy to you, starts talking about these, you know, laws and rules and this and that, I get it. That shit would make anybody kind of pissed, right? But my point is that why is it that police just don't like it when you start acting like you know anything about law? Why is it that it's almost, no, I mean, it's almost a lot of times if you just act dumb as shit, you just hope they leave you alone, because if you say anything smart, they get even more mad because they're looking at you going, oh, you one of them. Some of them will even say that. They'll go, oh, you one of them. You one of them, going, oh, like you know your shit. And we don't like that. Like, fuck that. Oh my God, this motherfucker knows the goddamn law. This is gonna be a long fucking stop. They don't like it, especially if you're black, Indian, Mexican, whatever it is. Start talking to them about, sir, I know my laws. Why are you pulling me over? I don't have to give. You start saying that shit to them, they will they will be so fucking mad at you. They'll take it out on your ass too. Why? It's because, like I said, for some reason they don't like being intellectually challenged. They don't like that shit because you're not supposed to you're not supposed to seem smarter than them. They don't like feeling um, they don't like feeling they don't like feeling dumb as shit. They don't like feeling intellectually challenged. They don't like that. And like I said, especially when it comes from a different race of people, you know what I mean? They expect us to just shut the fuck up, say yes, no, and pray we don't go to jail. And I'll tell you right now, a friend of mine got pulled over with another person that I know. It was a white dude and a black dude, and you know, the black dude, he said he said that when they pulled him over, the white guy that we know, he was kind of like, he said he was kind of just, at first he was being quiet, but then they grabbed my buddy, the black dude, they grabbed him out the car and said, you smell like weed and blah blah blah, and grabbed him out the car, right? And black dude tells the police, yeah, I smoked earlier, like I said, like, because they want to start searching the car. So he was like, I smoked earlier. That's about it. And so he was like, y'all can search me if you want. I really don't care. But then he said the white dude started talking hella shit to the police, like started getting loud, like, this is fucked up. Like, why? He told y'all he smoked. If y'all want to search him. But now y'all want to search my car and blah blah blah. Why'd y'all even ask him for his ID? He said white dude went bananas, and I know dude too, and obviously I'm not gonna say anybody's names, but the reason why I'm telling the story is, number one, is because I'm trying to show y'all how the police treated them, and number two, the white dude who went through the experience, not only have I gotten into numerous discussions and arguments about the existence of white supremacy, racism, which he would argue with me that these things don't exist, which blew my mind. But then when this happened to them, not only did he see the racism right in front of him, but then he decided to say something to the police. And obviously the police was white and he was white. So he said he started going off Black dude, my buddy, the black dude said he started going off. Oh no, black dude was quiet. White dude started going off at the police, talking shit, saying, "This is fucked up. I'm about to pull my phone out. You know, y'all are treating this is racist. Y'all are treating them unjust. Da 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 da." And then, the police officers kept telling the white dude that he better shut the fuck up, or it's gonna get worse for him. So he said, obviously, that he kept talking shit to the police. Police kept telling him to shut up. Black dude just shut his mouth, right? And so because he's thinking shit, they're gonna fucking take me to jail just because I smell like weed. So I ain't saying shit. Obviously, they didn't find nothing on anybody. And so they were trying to search the car. White dude was like, y'all ain't searching my car. Fuck you guys. And did they search the car? No, because white dude stood his ground, right? So then when they were about to let him go, the police walked up to both of them and said, if both of y'all were talking all this shit, y'all would have went to jail. So basically he said to them, white dude, you can talk all the shit you want, but if the black dude too was yapping all this shit you were yapping, I'd have taken both of y'all to jail. And he told them that before he left. And as soon as that happened, the white dude called me and told me the whole story going, I can't believe this happened. It was fucked up. They literally just pulled us over not even 2 seconds after I picked up black dude. You know, black dude called me going, bro, this shit was nuts. These motherfuckers pulled us over. White dude flipped the fuck out on the cops. Cops didn't take us to jail, but then threatened that they would if I was saying some shit. So it's like, you know what I mean? To go through that, knowing damn well how people perceive you when you didn't even do shit wrong. Smoking weed there's nothing wrong with that. You're not killing nobody, you're not hurting nobody. Like just because you smoke weed don't mean you go to jail. You see what I'm saying? So my point is that if people out here really committing crime, that's what the police need to be chasing. Not picking on people who they just deem criminal. And then when they don't find anything, they let you go. But then, like I said, then they threaten you on the way out. You know? But like I said, it was funny because the white dude who went through the experience, not only does he always act like racism doesn't exist and this and that, but it's just, to me, I find it funny because not only did he go through it, but now he got to see how it feels. You know what I mean? So, what else? What's my other point here? Oh, man, this is one of the biggest points that I don't understand why this happens right here, man. You know, police are real big about not snitching, right? Telling us not to snitch, right? They always telling us, don't snitch. Oh, y'all, this whole snitching thing. You know what I'm saying? Like police are always telling people this, y'all got this thing where y'all don't snitch. It's fucked up, blah blah blah. But then, have you ever seen a cop snitching on another cop about how fucked up of a cop they are? Have you ever seen any police pointing out any bad cops? No. So not only do they not snitch, but then they tell us as the society and the community to tell on each other any chance we get. But then they don't. When have you ever seen a cop go, man, this guy's a dirty cop, he gotta go? When you seen that shit? You ever seen that? You ever seen him, tweet something or send an anonymous tape or something or an email to a news outlet and to tell us who's a dirty cop and what they did? Holtzclaw. What about, that Holtzclaw motherfucker was raping all these black women in Oklahoma City? For as long as he been doing that, not one cop said anything. Now what? Y'all trying to tell me y'all been working with this man and none of y'all know that he's a fucking weirdo? None of y'all? Oh, I bet some of y'all did. But you ain't gonna say shit though. That's my point. You don't hear you don't. Now one time, how many police shootings we've seen? How many police shootings we've seen? Not one person on a police force or anything will say, look, this person's bro, you are like that. Like he be doing shit like that. I've never trusted this motherfucker ever since I seen him. I've seen him do some shit like this before. Like, you don't see that shit. Why? Because they don't snitch. They don't snitch on each other because it's considered snitching with each other, right? When Boys in Blue, If any of them talk about any of the other ones, they're snitch rules, same as the street. You will snitch, and especially since they police, everybody got a gun. More than likely, you're gonna get it somehow. And then obviously they can clean the shit up because they police, right? So it could look like anything. So my point is that they don't snitch on each other, yet they adamantly encourage us to tell on us or tell on each other as a community of people. I'm not saying I'm not saying don't tell on somebody if they're doing something fucked up. I'm saying that to promote to promote not snitching, and y'all literally do the opposite, and y'all are supposed to be the moral foundation and compass of society and the cities and towns and blah blah blah, and y'all don't do that shit. And then not only are people dying when y'all don't do that shit, but people have been continuously dying for the people that y'all don't tell on and that y'all protect. And I'm talking to the good cops. Because that's what I'm saying. If y'all motherfuckers are that good, why don't y'all tell us who the bad ones are then? Tell us who the bad ones are. You ain't that fucking good. You just want your check. You just want to get home to your 2, 3 kids and play with your dog with with 3 legs, and then go to church on Sunday and thank God you made it another week. You ain't trying to get in no shootout. You ain't trying to get in no sting operation. You ain't trying to get in that shit. No. You just want to make it home every night, right? Right? You ain't trying to get into that shit. You're not trying to find out who the fucked up cops in your department. Why? So what? So all the bad cops will hate you, right? You don't want to go through that, right? But you're supposed to be doing this shit for good, right? So I'm saying, it's like if these police out here doing this shit for good, as much policing as y'all doing in the street, y'all should be doing the same amount of policing in y'all's department. The same way y'all look at black people, white people, Mexican, Indian, Chinese, and go, oh, he might be stealing, or oh, he might be doing this. I hope y'all are looking at your own fucking comrades when y'all walk in there too, going, oh, he might not be stealing from the evidence room. Oh, he might not be raping fucking women. Oh, he not. Do y'all do that shit? No. Because not one of y'all come out here and told us who's the fucked up. Nobody told us about Holtzclaw. Those women had to sit here and go through all that shit and then tell somebody about Holtzclaw. Them prostitute women had to tell us about Holtzclaw. Y'all didn't tell us shit. You good cops, y'all didn't tell us a goddamn thing. Y'all were just being good cops all day, minding your business, right? That's what I'm saying. And I hope police do see this. Because if you are a good cop, then listen to what I'm saying to you. Check your force. Make sure there's no fucking bad seeds in your force. I'd like to assume that no force is 100% clean, right? Right? Like anything else in this world, there's nothing that's 100% pure. So why don't you call out those bad seeds? Why don't you let us know who they are? Why aren't police doing that? If y'all really care about the society and the people that y'all are policing, let us know who are the ones that are who are causing havoc, who are causing the disruption, who are causing the systematic oppression, who are still enforcing the modern day Jim Crow laws, who are coming up with police citation citation programs like the Operation Pipeline in California in the mid '90s, where they'd pull over any black person in in a low, what is it, in the mid, it was like the 1985 to like 1990 cars, from a Monte Carlo to a Cutlass to a Buick to a Cadillac, all these cars, if during the Operation Pipeline program that was going on in LA in the mid '90s, that if you were driving a Caprice, an Impala, a Chevy, a Buick, a goddamn Cadillac, if you're driving any of them type of cars that black people drive, not only will they pull you over, right? But if you have a sandwich baggie, they'll search your shit. Why? Because that could be deemed as paraphernalia. If you have baking soda, that you can get searched. Why? Because that's deemed as paraphernalia. You can do 1,000 goddamn things with baking soda. But obviously, like I said, in the 90s, they had Operation Pipeline going on where anybody they pulled over, if they had these things, these checklists, they were deemed fucking either drug dealers or drug addicts. So my point is that what are you policing and why are you policing it? What are you deeming criminal? So if you are good cops, do you deem bad cops criminal? Because if you do, why don't y'all arrest them? Why don't y'all say something about them? Because I don't hear it. I don't ever hear it. They gotta end up like Holt's Claw, where we some prostitutes tell the right people, or they just get caught, right, red-handed. So my thing is that I'm tired of hearing this shit about good cops, and they're taking, like, show me the good cops and then show me the bad ones too. Show me them too. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't understand why these good cops defend these bad cops, man. And if y'all are good cops, and tell me, point out the shitty ones, point out the bad apples. Y'all have to do that. Y'all need to, you know what I'm saying? It's like, y'all tell us, you know what I mean, that when some shit's going on, something's fucked up, there's a drug dealer, selling in the neighborhood and selling to the kids or whatever the fuck it is. Y'all are trying to appeal to our conscience, and our moral compass as people, telling us to snitch on whoever the fuck y'all want. Well, we want the bad cops. Y'all need to give them to us. Y'all need to tell us who they are. And if, like I said, if you are a good cop, then show it and prove it. Don't just getting your check and coming home and surviving don't mean you're a good cop. Wearing that uniform and badge for 20 years and not getting shot does not mean you're a good cop. Good cop means you are doing the work that needs to be done and that has to be done. And usually that's hard work to do. Y'all, you've seen the Superman movies. It's hard work. It's hard to be a good cop. That's why there's too many of these cops living great lives and retire, because y'all ain't out here trying to police nothing. Y'all just want to get a check. Y'all just want to get a check. And if it's really about policing, then not only if y'all going to police the community, then let's police the department too. Show us who the shitty ones are. Grow some nuts and show us who the shitty ones are. Women, y'all too. Y'all can grow some metaphorical nuts and show us who the shitty cops are. Don't defend them just because y'all been having cookouts with their families for 12 years, 10 years. Y'all been on the force together. When you know damn well when he gets out there, he be beating the shit out of Mexicans because he's never liked them motherfuckers. And then when he's done, he talks all sorts of shit about them. Don't play me. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know what time it is. So, like I said, if y'all want us to stop snitching, or if y'all want us to, whatever the fuck it is, y'all do it too, goddammit. Y'all do it too. Y'all want us to tell y'all want us to tell y'all where the drug dealers are and wherever all the bullshit's going on, then you tell us where all the shitty cops are and where they go. Okay? When you put on that uniform, you can be a cop all day. Respect the fact that we are citizens and we are the people of this world. And y'all are here to work for and with us. But most importantly, for. Don't forget that shit. And we will treat each other with mutual respect as long as it is given. Y'all need to understand that you treat somebody how you want to be treated, man. But see, I hate even saying that because some people like being treated like shit. So don't do that. Just treat me good. And I'll treat you good. That's it. Don't command shit from me. I won't command shit from you. That's it. If I'm doing something wrong, you have all the right to do what the fuck you got to do. But my point is that you better be fucking right. You better be right. You better be goddamn right. So show us the good cops, but most importantly, show me the bad cops. And all you good cops who say y'all are good cops, show me the bad cops. Show us, the community, so we can feel a little safer and start trusting y'all like we're actually supposed to. I can't even think of a time where the people in police were good. I can't. But it can be done if the good cops want to do that work. If y'all want to get in that work, understand that it takes more than just playing some basketball with some neighborhood kids and taking some pictures. It's more than throwing out a few toys in some neighborhoods and smiling and turning on your lights and shit. It takes a little more than that. What it is let's call out the bad seeds that are out here enforcing the wrong stereotypes and creating a system where the community and the police do not get along and the community doesn't trust the police. Let's get rid of that. And how we get rid of that is, like I said, let's get the bad seeds out of the authority positions. Whether it's your chief, whether it's your best friend who's a partner, or whether it's your friend's friend's friend who's one of them partners. If you know it's fucked up, man, don't go tell your chief, because your chief might be one of them too. Tell us, the public. Tell us. Remember, we're the bosses. We're the ones that run shit out here. Remember, the chief is a chief. That's all he doing. Tell us. There's so many places you can go. Goddamn, what's his name? Eric Snowden. He, you know what I'm saying? He was leaking goddamn government secrets. You can tell us who a bad cop is. All you got to do is put a name on there and just say bad cop. That motherfucker bad. Trust me. You getting this from one of us type shit. If you can just let us know you police too, we'll believe your ass, bro. If you give us some evidence, we'll believe your ass. But my point is that don't expect us to respect y'all. If you do not respect us, like, I just don't. I don't give a fuck how big your gun is, how big your badge is, how powerful your boss is. Most people, you know what I'm saying? We don't give a fuck about all that. We don't. What we care about is staying alive. That's what I give a fuck about more than anything. You see what I'm saying? So understand that if y'all want us to respect y'all gotta respect us. Understand, because y'all are one of us. The only thing that separates us from y'all is 40 hours out of the week or anything else that's overtime. That's the only thing that separates us. It's just what you do during the day or at night. That's it. Besides that, you just like me. So that's all I got for y'all. How we spot bad cops? We tell the good cops to show us the bad cops. Why? Is because that's the only way we can find out who's really has the ill intent. Have we been seeing that? No. Why? It's because these good cops ain't as good as they say they are and as they think they are. So if you're a cop and you see this shit, you need to reassess how much effort you're putting into being a goddamn cop. And are you a good cop? Would you tell on a bad cop that's in your department? Would you do it? If you won't, and you want to stick to y'all's blue code, whatever it is, then understand you were just as bad as that drug dealer. Or you're just as bad as that one person who won't tell you who murdered so-and-so. You're just as bad. Understand that you are just as guilty as that racist-ass cop who's doing that. As the Holtz Claws, as all the motherfuckers. You are just as bad. If you ignore, if you justify, you are just as much of the problem as the problem. Understand that. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe. Most importantly, follow your boy. Comment, man. I need that information. I need your opinion. I don't need it, but I'd like it. So let me know what you think. I do this for y'all. It is what it is. Like I said, I ain't got nothing against police. I respect police. I know some police, but they know how I feel about them too. I respect the ones that are out there really doing it for the right reasons. And if you're doing it for the right reasons, then do it all the way for the right reasons. Tell us who the shitty cops are, because I'm tired of my people dying in these streets. Check out my single, Black America, which touches on police brutality. It's out on iTunes right now. Black America PZY. By PZY. Black America. Follow me on Instagram at ZuluBoy405. Got to get used to start saying that bullshit. All right, peace.